Hello, good evening. Welcome back to my channel. Sotonye here, Sotonye Kelechi Muzi, if you're seeing this face for the first time. And welcome to another episode of the Legal Roundup with Sotonye. And today's video is going to be a simple one. And it's going to be, did you know? There are some legal things, there are some terminologies, there are some existing concepts that you think are normal, that you think are legal, but that they are not, or you don't even know that they exist in Nigeria, okay? I'm about to talk about some of them today. If there are more that will come along the line, then we'll film a second video. But today, we're going to get into this topic. If you want to hear what I have to say, if you want to get into this video, please keep on watching and don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. So the very first thing I'm going to talk about, did you know that there's a difference between divorce and annulment under Nigerian law? Divorce is a concept we talked about in our previous video, but in this video we're going to talk about annulment just briefly. Annulment is completely different from divorce, or distinguishable from divorce, because it means that the marriage was not even valid in the first place. Okay, it means that it was void ab initio, meaning that it did not even exist, and you can approach the court to get an official decree, an official order stating that the marriage was void, and get an annulment. I know there are some annulment procedures in the Catholic Church, but we're not here to talk about that today. So yes, divorce is separate from annulment, and you can find that under the Matrimonial Causes Act or the Marriage Act. You can find the processes, you can find the concepts. But an example of why a marriage would be void in the first place would be that maybe you married somebody that is your relative, okay, not incest per se, you marry someone that you're related to by blood. That marriage would actually be void ab initio. Or you married somebody under duress, or you married somebody who is already married to somebody else under the act, okay? So that's called bigamy. So these are some of the reasons why your marriage can be annulled and you can say it was void. It did not even exist in the first place, okay? All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is, did you know that bail is free? Yes, bail is actually free. We keep singing this here up and down, but in Nigerian law, in reality of Nigeria, you go to the police station and tell them bail is free. They may join you with your they may argue with your, what do they call it, your client, and lock you up as well. But technically under the law, bail is supposed to be free. And something that actually is a new innovation under the law, that women can also bail people out. For some reason, the law had been saying, or maybe in practice it had been saying, that women could not bail people. You cannot go and sign surety for another person because you are a woman. But the law now says you cannot discriminate based on the fact that you are a woman or a man. Women can actually bail people from jail, okay? So know that and have peace. You can go and bail your husband if they arrest him for something else. And talking about arrest, did you know that the police had no right to involve themselves in civil cases? We'll talk about what civil and criminal cases mean, the distinction between both of them. But civil cases, police has no business. All of you that go and carry your police to go and arrest your tenant or your landlord or somebody that's owing you biro and pen, it's illegal. Police has no business being involved in civil proceedings. That's proceedings between you and I, fellow citizens, right? Unless it transcends into criminal proceedings, then you cannot invite the police involved. But we are so fond of intimidating people with police. We're bringing police, I'm going to arrest you, I'm going to arrest you. Then you pay your police officer, he follows you, you arrest somebody. That is illegal. Police should not be involved in civil proceedings. So now the question is, what is civil proceedings? What are civil proceedings? Generally speaking, civil proceedings are, offenses. We like call them offenses, but there are issues between fellow citizens, that's you and I. So if you have an issue between landlord and tenant, if you have an issue of nuisance, making noise, all these churches now in Nigeria where all the churches are back to back to back, you cannot sleep, you're hearing praise and worship from morning till night. Nuisance is actually a civil action. You can bring that to court. That is the civil action, and police can't get, you can report them for nuisance, but police can't, it's not criminal. That's the point I'm trying to make. Other things like trespass is also civil procedures, civil proceeding. Negligence is also under civil law, okay, not civil proceedings, civil law. But then criminal law is very different. Criminal law is when it's between you and me and the police, okay? What happens? You steal my property, you stole my property, but then I report to the police, then the police take over the matter and charge you to court for theft, okay? That is what criminal law is. It's now no longer between you and I. As long as you have reported it, it's now between the police, or the state rather, because the police is an agent of the state government, and the defendant. They used to call them suspect, or they used to call them accused before. Now it's not defendant. So it's not the state versus this. So you see on criminal proceedings, originating processes or the processes that are filed in court is the state versus Sotonye Kelechi, was it the state versus this? Usually that's what you see. But now we find that the law has made it in a way that people can actually, bring police criminal proceedings to court. That's you and I now. You stole my thing and I'm getting angry that the police is not doing it. Maybe you have intimidated the police, or you've done something, or the police is feeling like there's nothing here, I'm not going to do anything about it. You can actually approach the magistrate court under the law and say, okay, I want to arrest this person, I want to charge this person to court. And what happens is that the magistrate court now, employs or tries to engage or coerce or, strongly motivate the police to investigate the matter and bring it to court. So that is what that is, okay? So now, leaving criminal and civil matter, let's talk about something that is very on trend and interesting. Some Igbo and generally South traditions need to die, okay? They need to die a long and slow and painful death. And one of those things that happen so common in Igbo tradition and custom, and generally South, I'm sure in the North, but I don't know about it, is inheritance laws. Inheritance laws. Okay, so previously we heard that a woman cannot inherit her father's property because she's going to be married to her husband, and then she's going to go to her husband's house, so she cannot carry her father's property to her husband's house to give the property to another person, right? So she was immediately disinherited unless a deed of gift is given. A deed of gift is just a side by deed of gift is when you give somebody property or something in your lifetime. So while you are alive, you sign an agreement and say, I did this to you, I give you this. So your father at that time could give his property, to the daughter in his lifetime, and that will be okay. But once he dies, with or without a will, because some customs did not care about a will at that time, they will say, oh, she's a woman, Ada. Even if you are the Ada, even if you came before your father said, you cannot inherit the property. And so that's what a lot of women were, they were really discriminated against. You see, even a wife, a wife, you have been married to this man for years, you suffered with this man, you lived with this man, you did all these things, you built your life with this man, and immediately he dies, brothers and uncles from nowhere spring up and come up and say, okay, no, it's our property. I know people who have been kicked out of their homes because of this, because of what they call the and all those people that, those things they cannot do. And the law has said no, that is repugnant and contrary to natural justice, that you disinherit a woman simply because you think that she cannot own or earn or inherit property. And the law, in the case of UKJ versus UKJ, says that women can now, as wives and as daughters, or whatever the case may be, can inherit their property, the father's property, their husband's property. Okay, so if anybody tries to challenge you, it's important that you know your rights. You know that, oh, you are allowed, you are empowered to be able to inherit. And if anybody gives you conditions, there was an incident of a woman who her husband, deeded out some of his property to his siblings in his lifetime, and then upon his death they also came back to say, oh no, it's our brother's property, we want to take everything. And she had evidence to prove that she actually worked for some of the property, she took care of him in his lifetime, and she earned it. She had a right to this property, right? And so they were like, no, the only way she can, inherit this property is if she marries the eldest brother in their family, to inherit the property. That's what their tradition and custom says. But the court in this instance said no, that the law supersedes tradition and custom, and the woman is not, it is discriminatory, it is unfair, it is wicked for you to ask her to marry a 75-year-old man because she must inherit her husband's property. They even tried to make attempts to take the children away from her, that, oh, these the children of the marriage with her husband that is now late, and so she cannot marry another person with those children. I mean, we can dig deeper into this topic much later in another video. If you're interested in that, let me know, and actually find out, like, what does the law say about some of these are traditions and customs. There are some videos I've watched on the internet where it talked about, marrying a woman for a dead man, some things like that. What does the law say about some of those things? If you're interested in that, or you want to know what the law says, leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think about this, and we'll discuss. Okay, so the final point and the final did you know topic is, you cannot forgive, you cannot pardon, you cannot settle criminal matters in your home. What does that mean? Plot twist for some of you who think you can say it's a family matter, and because of that, you will deal with it at home. Once a matter has been reported to police, the police is obligated, generally speaking, to investigate, and where the case may be, charge the suspect, the accused, the defendant to court, right? So there are some instances where we have seen where the police has charged somebody to court, and the victim, the family of the victim, comes to say, oh no, we want to settle it, it's a home matter, it's a family matter, we don't want to talk about it. No, it doesn't work that way. You cannot settle criminal matters outside of court. It's only civil matters that you can settle, because now the state is involved, the government is involved. So cases like abuse, cases like sodomy, cases of infantile defilement, and all those kinds of cases, especially abuse, specifically abuse, because there's a lot of cover-up of abuse in the Nigerian system, in Nigerian villages, because you're trying to save the face of the family, you're trying to protect the image of the man or the woman, you're trying to cover up a lot of things. People tend to say, okay, I will give you money, I'll throw money at the situation, and it is over, and it is dealt with, and there's no problem, you have settled it. No, you cannot, and you should not. Even if you've not charged the matter to court, even if you have not reported to the police, it should not be even discussed that you are trying to settle a matter of abuse at home. It is wrong. The person is a criminal. Domestic violence, we take it for granted. Oh, she beats me, she beats me. You're putting it up in, your mommy blogs, you're putting it up in Insta blog and all the other blogs. You're talking about how my husband has been beating me from morning till night since the beginning of the marriage. Even when I was pregnant, he was stepping on my stomach. We've read so many stories like that. But sister and brother, just to let you know, these things are criminal offenses, and the only way to stop some sets of people from the acts they are perpetrating is to actually report them to police. So you need to actually make sure that you're reporting criminal offenses to the police, okay? The truth of the matter, and the reason why I'm doing this video, is because sometimes we don't know our rights, for one, and two, we don't know some of the actions that we are perpetrating and we have thought are normal are not normal, they are illegal, okay? So I will keep on doing more videos as the days progress, as this series continues, to enlighten us and bring the law to your doorstep. That is the point of the Legal Roundup. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any concepts, if you have any ideas, if you want to chat with me and talk about this with me, please let me know in the comment section. You can also send me an email. My email address is always in the description. So let me know, okay, I'm going through this dilemma, Soti, please give me some advice. But the point of reference, this is not official legal advice. I'm just sharing my opinion with you, so you cannot come and sue me and say, Soti said, oh, I followed her advice. So no, that does not work for me. This is just general opinions. We're sharing opinions, we're sharing ideas, and some things may not even be accurate. You can also correct me in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know, please. Okay, thank you so much. See you on the next episode. Bye.